Secretary Mrs. Vilsack, Ambassador Quinn, ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, government officials, development professionals, honored guests, good afternoon and welcome to the United States State Department. I'm Charles Rivkin, the Assistant Secretary of State for Economic and Business Affairs, and I'm honored once again to host this year's announcement ceremony of the World Food Prize laureate. But before I begin, I want to pass along the best wishes of my boss, Secretary of State John Kerry. He sends his deepest regrets, but he's out of the country right now and can't be here today. I'm sure you've seen the press and know where he is. But on his behalf, I want to welcome everyone to a ceremony that has become a long-standing partnership between the State Department and the World Food Prize Foundation. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the 12th year that we have hosted the prize announcement at State together. So please join me in recognizing Ambassador Kenneth Quinn, President of the World Food Prize Foundation. We deeply value all our partners in this goal, so let me take a moment as well to thank all those who honor us today here with their presence and their support. That includes my colleague Nancy Stetson, Secretary Kerry's Special Representative for Global Food Security, members of Congress, and all the members of the diplomatic corps and the public and private sectors. I'm also delighted to see my friend, Julie Borlaug, who's flown in from Texas today to be here, carrying on the vital work of her grandfather, Norman Borlaug. We all share so many of the same goals and principles, and they include an unwavering commitment to reducing hunger and malnutrition and to lifting men and women out of poverty. We also recognize how food security is inextricably linked and related to critical issues like climate change, political stability, and human and economic development. We know that when the global community can feed itself, it can lift economies, open up futures, and address the critical issues of our time. Ultimately, food security helps us all thrive in a more secure and productive environment. And that's why the U.S. government works to improve lives by focusing on the role that science and technology and good policy play in reducing hunger and malnutrition. And I'm especially proud to lead my Bureau's efforts to support and recognize the important contribution that agriculture plays in economic development. In that capacity, I was delighted to attend the Borlaug Dialogue in Des Moines last October. And while I was there, I had the opportunity to see a powerful representation of the global community. Some of them are here today, who work here every day to address the challenges of feeding the world. And that commitment was exemplified by the 2014 laureate, Dr. Sanjaya Rajaram, who was recognized for his achievements in wheat breeding. Now, Iowa has always as the ambassador knows, Iowa's always had a personal resonance for me, as I spent my summers there as a boy, and my extended family has deep roots in Iowa agriculture, and my father was born and raised in Muscatine. So it was truly meaningful for me to join a farmer in central Iowa and sit in the buddy seat of his John Deere S670 combine harvester and watch him work. Now, we were moving through these cornfields, I'll never forget it, as his combine gathered and husked and shelled 12 rows of corn at a time, turning them into bushels of instant grain. And unlike when I was a kid, I saw that in his climate-controlled, beautiful cabin, he checked his progress with onboard computers and GPS technology, and that helped him deposit seed and fertilizer precisely, and even showed him if he missed a single ear of corn. And while he was doing this, the farmer spoke to me about the importance of the international markets for American agriculture, and how he had once hosted President Xi Jinping of China at his farm, and in fact, President Xi was sitting in the exact same buddy seat as I was when he came. In just one ride on the combine, I saw a farmer using technology to enhance his livelihood and engage fully within the global economy, and I got a firsthand sense of the depth and of the scope of American agriculture and American agricultural technology. And in my work, I see our commitment to food security, and I see how it plays out in so many ways. The Obama administration, for example, has undertaken a set of programs to reduce global hunger and reduce undernutrition. We've worked to increase private investment in Africa, in African agriculture, and we focused on climate-smart agricultural methods. Our Feed the Future initiative supports the efforts of 19 countries to improve their agricultural sectors, and we've seen dramatic results: rising incomes, improved nutrition, and a threefold increase in smallholder farm sales since the previous year. Food security even plays on the trade front. I'm sure everybody here has heard about the passage of TPA, the Trade Promotion Authority, last week, which will move us closer to the completion of two big trade deals, the Trans-Pacific Partnership and the Transatlantic Trade and Investment Partnership. And these deals will not only lower impediments to trade in agricultural goods, they'll set new standards for greater and greater opening of agricultural trade globally. And I'm pleased to note that food is the focus at the 2015 Milan Expo, which is attended by millions of visitors. And this year's theme is Feeding the Planet, Energy for Life. And our USA Pavilion, which includes exhibits, programs, a website, and social media, is showing what we are doing to contribute to global food security, sustainability, and nutrition. And it will also showcase the innovation and the cutting-edge research that helps us respond to challenges such as climate change, pressure on water and land resources, and population growth. Our commitment to feeding the world, addressing world hunger, and ultimately improving lives continues. And I'm reminded of a quote from Dr. Norman Borlaug, founder of the World Food Prize. Dr. Borlaug once said, "If you desire peace, cultivate justice, but at the same time cultivate the fields to produce more bread. Otherwise, there will be no peace." And with that, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce Ambassador Kenneth Quinn. During his diplomatic career, stretching more than 30 years, Ambassador Quinn has served in many capacities, including as a rural development advisor in the Mekong Delta, on the National Security Council staff at the White House, and for the U.S. State Department as Deputy Assistant Secretary, Deputy Chief of Mission, and ultimately Ambassador, all throughout Indochina. In all his years of service, Ambassador Quinn has shown consistent dedication to pursuing justice and alleviating human suffering. And now in his 16th year as President of the World Food Prize Foundation, he has worked tirelessly to address hunger and poverty by recognizing significant achievements in agriculture and in nutrition. Ladies and gentlemen, my great pleasure to introduce to you Ambassador Quinn.